What's cooking, Bianconeri? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. A win is a win, 3 points is 3 points, and Juventus escapes, beats Sampdoria to have another consecutive win in the Serie A to bring them up to 8th place. Now it's time for us to rate us some players. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back. You're in the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Sunday, September 26, 2021, and of course we have to do all of your rundown of what the player ratings were for each of the players that played in the Sampdoria Juventus match today. In a 3-2 victory that, I don't want to say it wasn't as close as it looked, but there had moments where it could have looked a little bit better for Juventus, but then at the end it was I don't want to say disastrous. Actually, I will. It was more of a disastrous final 10 minutes that literally could have led to either a dropping points or whatever have you. Luckily, that didn't happen. Juventus gets the win, survive and advance at this point, and continue your quest up. Riding back up that Serie A table. Anyway, before we get into it, make sure you go and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We appreciate all our new subscribers, all the new people that join our channel. We appreciate you coming into our community and being part of the Juventus Bianconeri Zone family. Anyway, let's just jump into it. The very first one I have for you is Mattia Perin giving his first time starting for Juventus this season. Sorry for Juventus, but also letting Wojciech Szczesny rest, a much maligned Wojciech Szczesny, giving all he did through the season. Today, I gave him a 5.5 rating, which may look harsh, but it's not as harsh as I mean it to be. The reason I give a 5.5 was overall, he had one save, 4 out of 13 accurate long balls, and that's about all he did. And the reason is he didn't really have much to do today. There was a lot. I mean, honestly, if you look at it, the overall, what is the word I'm looking for? Possession was pretty even between Juventus and Sampdoria. But again, this was an opportunity or a situation. Sorry, getting those words out can be difficult sometimes. It's a situation where Juventus really didn't have that many shots on their own goal from Sampdoria during this time. I think overall there were 5 shots taken. Overall, I think 3 were on goal, 2 were in. And when those 2 goals were scored, they weren't particularly Perin's fault. Honestly, they were more on the defense. I know one time, I think it was Sandro that had pushed Bonucci out, and then Yoshida had gotten that header, and then the other time was just a Cuadrado blunder later in the match. Overall, not his fault, but I think to me a 5 is average. 5.5 is just when you're a little bit above average. Not a bad score, but just not a great score. Not anything that would really impress me or call for people to say Perin should start over Szczesny now. Going forward, maybe he'll get more opportunities in the future to see how he does. But nothing special overall. None of that. I think we've become so accustomed to the Buffon heroics, if you will. But nothing like that from Perin today. Next up, we have Cuadrado, who also got a 5.5 player rating. And again, like I said, not terrible. He wasn't overall. It wasn't a terrible day for Cuadrado, but it wasn't the normal Cuadrado that I expect him to be. He had 1 clearance, he had 1 interception, 1 tackle, 4 ground duels, 1 aerial duel, 1, 3 key passes, 8 accurate long balls, and 2 accurate crosses. The main thing, though, is he just was not on his game in certain situations. He had that big blunder that led to that second goal by Sampdoria and being able to score there. So have to cut him a little bit. He just looked a little bit more confused, a little bit more out of his comfort zone. So maybe if you get a Danilo back, Danilo will be back in that spot, and then you can move Cuadrado up a little bit back where he really he shines a little bit. I feel like when you move him up rather than keep him back in the defense there. Again, like I said, not terrible, just not really great either. Then we have Matthijs de Ligt. I gave him a 6.5 player rating. Overall, I thought he had a pretty good match. For Juventus, I think Matthijs de Ligt kind of did another one of those things where really he just kind of shows you why he needs to be starting and why he needs to get more playing time. He's just so active on the defense. One of the potential young leaders, hopefully for the club. He had 5 clearances, 3 interceptions, 3 aerial duels, 1. He had 4 accurate long balls, an accurate cross as well. And yeah, he had a pretty good match overall. I liked what I saw from Matthijs de Ligt as well. Let's move on to Bonucci, the Well, not the captain, because Allegri doesn't agree to make him captain. I gave him a 6 overall rating. He had a goal. Let's just overall what he had. He had a goal. He had 2 clearances, one ground duel one aerial duel did lose possession 13 times, one key pass, and one shot on target, one successful dribble. One of the main things that he really had is that he had the goal, which is on a penalty, that he was actually able to score after Dybala was gone from the match. One thing I've grown to know from the Italian national team overall is that Bonucci's pretty good at penalties. He's not bad at all. Pretty successful at taking those. So I like that. I think one of the main knocks that I could have given on him was the Yoshida going over his back for the header there. But really, when you reviewed it, you saw that it was more Alessandro. So then Bonucci had to mark 2 guys instead of just as one. And that really led to the breakdown there defensively for Juventus. And that the initial goal that was scored by Sampdoria to make it closer than it should have been. Alexandro, again, kind of just going off what I was talking about there, I gave him a 6. Outside of that, Alexandro's looked pretty good. He's looked a lot more, like I said, I've been referring to him as like 2017 Alexandro. He looks a lot better, way more active, way more, doing a lot more for the club, really actually establishing himself as a solid left back right now, especially in a position where I know a lot of guys say that we need to get other left backs in. He had 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, 1 ground duel, 1. He had 1 key pass and 4 accurate long balls, 1 successful dribble. Again, my main knock on him, the reason I maybe knocked him down to a 6, was more just of his that blunder that led to the Yoshida goal over Bonucci at that time. Move on to Chiesa, and Chiesa, I felt like, and I gave him a 5.5, which is low for Chiesa. Very often, you do not see me give Chiesa this. He's a guy that I look to for a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of, he's that hustle guy, the glue guy for Juventus, and what we have and what we need from the club. Unfortunately, it just wasn't his day overall playing. He was one of the more poorly rated players for Juventus. He had 1 accurate long ball, no key passes, no goals, no assists, 1 shot off target. He had a shot blocked. He had 3 successful dribbles and 1 big chance missed. And 6 ground duels, 1 as well. 1 interception and 2 tackles. Just wasn't the Chiesa that I'm used to seeing out there. Just looked a little bit more, I don't know if I want to say perturbed, but there were a couple moments that I noticed. Let me actually pull it up right here. This is not exactly how I like to do it on here when I'm doing these, but I think I deleted it. I may have deleted it. Let me pull it up. There we go. I have it during the Sampdoria match. He missed a big chance early on. Basically that shot at the 12-minute mark, it was an easy goal. Don't know what happened where he just kind of flubbed that one and ended up just missing it way off. Don't understand what he did there. And then also there's another goal that he could have had that he missed. That he just 55. It was the 55th minute. If you go back and look at that, he was walking through traffic. He was actually in the area with the ball, and without kind of a purpose or meaning. I don't know what exactly he was doing out there, but he literally just walked right into a guy and just lost possession. Instead of, I think that actually may have ended up leading to the it ended up leading to the Locatelli goal, but it wasn't a it was more of a miracle than it was by any effort that was really made by Chiesa in that instance. It was lost. Kulusevski scooped it up. I remember Locatelli scooped it up, gave it to Kulusevski. Eventually Locatelli ended up moving back in. Kulusevski slid it over to Locatelli for the assist, and Locatelli ended up finding the back of the net there. But again, it was just Chiesa just looked confused, didn't know what he was doing out there. A little bit not the Chiesa that I'm used to seeing out there, and hopefully not one that I see more often. Bentancur, actually, I gave him a better rating. I know a lot of people think I'm negative on Bentancur, but I thought Bentancur was pretty solid today. He was probably one of our better midfielders if it weren't for Locatelli scoring that goal. He got a 6 rating overall. Ended up just being serviceable. He had a shot at the end of the match that you could argue he probably should have taken it a little right or a little left. It was directly at the keeper. But one thing I will say is he usually looks scared to take shots, so I'll give him a little bit of a pass for that one because he actually had a shot on target. So, it was saved, but at the same time, got to give him a little bit of credit there. He had 1 key pass, 3 accurate long balls, 1 shot on target, like I said, 2 ground duels, 1 aerial duel, 1, and 3 interceptions and 1 tackle as well. So not a bad day overall for our guy, Rodrigo Bentancur. And then we got to go to the much maligned. Actually, no. My bad. I forgot about Locatelli. Let's go to Locatelli next, not the much maligned guy. Now we have Manuel Locatelli. I gave him a 6.5. He had 1 goal, 1 assist. Like I said, I just described the 56-minute mark. He had that goal that he scored thanks to the Kulusevski assist and all the things that went along with that. A really good, well-placed goal. Awesome for him. Really happy moment for Manuel Locatelli to get his first Juventus goal, first time at home, and first time a goal while wearing the Juventus shirt. It's a dream realized, I think, was basically what Juventus had put out there, him wearing his shirt with the number 27, and now he's got the 27 numbered shirt as well. Like I said, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 key pass, 3 accurate long balls, 1 shot on target, 1 shot off target, 2 shots blocked, 1 successful dribble, 4 ground duels won, 2 aerial duels won. He did lose possession 17 times, which is pretty high up there, especially for a midfielder. Not something you really want to see in that situation. But he did come up and play an attacking role multiple times during this. And then we go on. He had one interception as well. And I think that basically does it for our boy. Manuel Locatelli. Now we can move to the much maligned Bernardeschi, who I gave a 6. And I know a lot of people go on there and just want to berate Bernardeschi. At this point, Bernardeschi is what Bernardeschi is. Not a great player. Not really. He's not going to do a lot for you. He's not going to be really what Juventus hoped he was going to be when they purchased him a few years back. But overall, didn't have a terrible game overall for Juventus. Didn't do anything to really flub the game, which is sad that is the bar that I set you to. But I gave you a 6. I gave him a 6 overall. He had a couple ground duels won. Really was just kind of there. So like it wasn't really good or bad, but overall, like for Bernardeschi, he was decent, playing more the defensive role, keeping Sampdoria out of certain lanes and stuff like that. But otherwise, Bernardeschi was Bernardeschi. You could drop him some points if you want to, feel free. But overall, the reason I give him a 6 is because he didn't screw it up. He didn't screw it up this time, which is a sad sentiment that I really have to say, if I'm being honest. Oh crap, I have these on there. I had these on from our live, so I apologize. We're doing a little bit of on air or on whatever thing. Let's remove that. You can follow Alejandro. He is the Bianconeri Zone channel 1. I forgot to move this as well, but we'll put that here now. We're doing it on the fly, and I apologize. I don't really have time to go in and reshoot everything that I already reshot. Anyway, hopefully it didn't bother you guys too much. Anyway, if you saw it, you can let me know. If you got this far anyway, we'll see. Some people don't even watch that long. Then we got Paulo Dybala. I gave him a 7.5. To me, this was the Paulo Dybala that I'm looking for. This is exactly the Paulo Dybala I wanted. Unfortunately, I only got him for 22 minutes because he got injured. And it's another nagging injury that unfortunately appears might be the one that he had suffered, but kept him out all of last year for the most part. Let's just go over this real quick before I really dive into that. He had 1 goal, 1 shot on target, 1 shot blocked. He had 14 touches, 3 key passes, 2 big chances created. He had, what else did he have? And then he had that goal. He didn't have a lot of time to really do all that he did, or do more than what he did. But overall, I liked what I saw from this Dybala. This is the Dybala I want. That shot that he had on the assist from Locatelli was beautifully placed. Could have been more accurate, more the power that was behind it is exactly what I'm looking for. Now the frustrating part though is you got a player who is in contract renewal negotiations. All that's going on with that. He has an injury that was suffered at the 22-minute mark. He had to be pulled. He literally was out there, and it was a no contact injury, which is to me the worst kind of injury because that means there's something wrong that was like waiting to be pulled out of place. It wasn't something that was a knock or whatever. Somebody hit you and that can heal quicker. So Allegri basically has said that he is out at least for the Chelsea match and the Torino match, but also potentially until, well, it's looking like, I mean, we're guessing, I mean, this isn't Allegri saying or whatever. This is where we're estimating a little bit here that it could potentially be at least a month that he could be out. Hopefully not more than that. I'd be worried that this could be a recurring thing. It could be a nagging injury that continues on, and it appears like it looks more and more likely that it might be becoming that in the future. We'll keep an eye on it going forward. Hopefully he heals and can get back with the squad as soon as possible. Take another drink. Sorry, I'm dehydrated. Then we got Alvaro Morata, who again, was just another player who just didn't really have the best game overall. He had 2 shots on target, 1 shot off target. He had a successful dribble. He had one big chance missed. He had let's see, I'm trying to think what else he had. 4 ground duels won. He had 1 aerial duel won. Didn't lose a lot of possession, which is good. 9 possessions lost, which is not as high as I usually expect for a player that's attacking in a role like Alvaro Morata. I think a lot of my criticism when it comes to him actually comes to earlier in the match. He had that shot saved at the 16-minute mark. The team's just overall not super efficient when it comes to shooting. That's why you see Juventus last match having 25 shots on goal. Why you see 16 shots, or not 25 on goal, 25 shots and not hitting its mark, not finding it, or going directly to the keeper easily to be saved. 60-minute mark, he had a shot that was a chance. Early on in the match, he had another early opportunity at the 14-minute mark. Where he shot directly at the keeper. A couple of times just where he had opportunities, and instead of just putting enough force behind it, doing whatever have you, we get stuck with what we get with Morata in the situation, unfortunately. But hopefully he will continue to get better, but that's why I had to give him a 5.5 for today's show. Kulusevski, I gave him a 6. This is now we're getting into the subs or whatever overall. Kulusevski had to come in for Paulo Dybala after the 22nd mark. For Juventus, he had 1 assist. He had 2 key passes, 1 accurate cross, 1 big chance created, 2 shots off target, 1 successful dribble, 3 ground duels won. He did lose possession 13 times, but he also had 1 tackle as well. Not a bad game from Kulusevski. The one thing, my main criticism for him, he had that assist to Locatelli for the goal. But my main criticism when it comes to Kulusevski and what he does for the club is a lot of times he just doesn't have the fire or that killer instinct or whatever have you. He just seems a little bit nervous, shy, whatever it is. He just needs to have a little bit more of that confidence behind him when he's taking shots, when he's doing anything like that going forward for sure. Outside of Kulusevski, let me go to Aaron Ramsey. Came in, I gave him a 5. He came in at the let's see. I don't know why it's just. Oh, he played 20 minutes. Sorry, I was like, what? He came in at the 70-minute mark. Didn't really do a lot. Like I said, 5 is my basis. You go down from there, you can go up from there. You did nothing to go down or up overall. He had 1 key pass. Anything else? Not really. Lost possession 3 times, 0 to 1 ground duels, 1. 6 out of 8 accurate passes. Nothing really to write home about. Really nothing to even talk about when it comes to Aaron Ramsey overall as a player. So we'll move on to Chiellini, who I think is the last one that I really rated. He only played for 20 minutes as well. I gave him a 6.5. I thought he had a decent overall performance. He's a strong defender as he always is. 1 clearance, 1 interception, 2 ground duels, 1. 12 touches, 5 out of 6 accurate passes. Not too bad overall. Chiellini is what he is, and Chiellini is a solid player, so I gave him a 6.5, basically for his defensive contributions. Last 2 players of the games are Weston McKennie and Moise Kean. I did not give them ratings because they only played about 8 minutes each. Really short amount of time, not a lot to really go on there overall. But those are my ratings. Oh, I think I also forgot. Do we have him? Let me see. Okay. This may be on me, so let me make sure I got him. There we go. Let me throw him on here. Max Allegri, how did I forget about him? I gave him a 5.5 rating overall. Again, this is another one of those situations where as a coach, I think he did fine. He was okay. You got to win. A win is a win. Survive, advance, whatever generic quote you want me to say. I'm saying it right now. But what I'm really trying to say when it comes to Allegri is he could have just a little bit more. You got to have these guys. And there's only so much he can do. He's got to get these guys into shape. Figure out a formation that really works for us. It looks like we're going to be stuck with a 4-4-2 for a while. Not loving it. If you want to change that formation, I'd be happy with it. But I also understand it's going to be difficult right now, especially when you're in a time. You got Chelsea coming up. You got Torino. You got the international break. And then you got guys coming back while you're suffering injuries and losing players left and right, whatever have you. And then you really got to figure out your situation and your system. So a 4-4-2 is just simple. It's easy. Julian's not going to like to hear it, but that's what they're going to be stuck with for a little bit. I just work on that defense a little bit. That's what I'm worried about. Working on that defense, getting the confidence of your strikers and your shooters as well, getting that up so that way they can get this ball rolling. This game easily could have had 3 goals within the first 20 minutes or so for Juventus. And then you could have, I don't want to say you can take it easy because that's not what I want from Juventus, because Juventus does that way too often, way too get way too easy taking it easy, and then we get stuck with what we get stuck with. But what I'm saying is definitely work on the defense, hopefully a little bit, getting guys in position, making sure these guys are marking their guys correctly, so that way we don't have easy goals that are let in. Like I said, when they only get 5 shots total and they get 2 goals off of that, that's way too much, especially when Juventus has to work and grind for everything when you get 16 shots and you're only getting 3 goals on it overall. That's just my personal opinion, though. Anyway, that's really what I have for you today regarding the players' ratings. Do you agree with my ratings? If not, let me know in the comment section down below, and then we can battle it out over there. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. Make sure you hit that like button. Please help hit that like button. It really helps our channel grow. It helps our outreach when it comes to other Juventus fans finding your channel and becoming part of our community. And also, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel already and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It really helps our community grow as well. And then also hit that bell icon to stay notified, so that way you get knowledge of all these videos and whatever have you, lives, whatever, as soon as they drop. So that way you can, get to know what we think and get your opinion out there as well. We want to have that kind of dialogue and that communication with you guys as well. Make sure you follow Bianconerizone at Bianconerizone on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me at Justin Sofer on Twitter, and also follow my boy Julian Genotti on Twitter as well at Genotti151. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.